up here. There we go. All right. As you can see, there's a mess behind me because I've been super busy on multiple projects. And I apologize for the mess, but I only have so much time in a day. And I haven't shaved. You can tell I have my t-shirt on instead of semi-formal business attire, right? So I thought I would let you guys know that I'm downstairs today and not upstairs. I'm going to take a chance. You guys may hear the grandkids in the back. We normally don't have them on Friday, but we do today, and we're glad of that. We never say no if we can help it. And long story short, they're being really good today. So we're going to take a chance. Hopefully they don't start screaming. They got a quick little temper. They're not spoiled yet, but they're trying to get spoiled, and we won't let that happen. But man, they can be a challenge sometimes. And I got to give the wife the credit. She does a wonderful job taking care of them while I do the podcast and other business stuff throughout the day. Yes, I do help her. By golly, I will, because I love helping them out. I don't even have my studio lights on. Whoa. Well, there's one. Let me see if I can get the other one. I got so busy with everything else, I forgot about the studio lights. Maybe it wasn't so bad. I don't know, because this reveals the ugliness of me. Maybe I should go back the other way. For all of you on the podcast, you're not missing anything. Just my ugly mug gets revealed because of the studio lights. All right. I'm so busy with everything else, I forgot about the lights. But you know what? That's the least of our worries, right? We're here to have fun and relax and enjoy our time together, and I certainly want to do that. I hope that all of you on the podcast are enjoying the podcast. I enjoy doing them. I'm so flattered once again that you guys are enjoying that. That is something that I did not expect, and I've been blown away by the numbers. And yesterday, one of our episodes, I think it was yesterday or the day before, just to let you guys know, we reached 4,000, almost 4,300 people with the podcast. And that was quite shocking. That was the largest number I've had, and it continually goes up. So I'm flattered. I mean, what's the chance of that? I get new followers all the time. I'm once again very flattered. And I haven't even started advertising yet to get the word out. That's part of business. You advertise, right? But I'm just trying to learn how all this goes together and how it works. I see we got more people that came on. You missed a great picture, and glad to have you here. I'm tickled pink on a Friday. You're spending time with us, but let me show you what we were showing up front before you got here. The downstairs office, we're taking a chance. The kids are being great, and so I thought I'd share that with you. So there you go. There's another picture of my little guy. As always, if you guys will, please. And I just try to remind you, if you don't mind, to help us with the word of mouth over social media so that we can continue to get this all important information out to our fellow network marketers and help them dramatically increase their chances for success. So with that being said, we got some really interesting things we're going to talk about today. As you can tell, this is a very informal process. It's not meant to be anything really informative. Although there is little nuggets of information that I share with you guys each and every day, but we want to have fun here and enjoy Everybody's, I'm sure, going stir crazy, and we just wanted to make it as enjoyable as we possibly can. So with that being said, one of the things I want to talk about today is another one of my journeys. And one of the journeys I want to talk about is when I was in LA. You're talking about, man, that was a gold mine, but at the same time, man, what a challenge. And if anybody's been to LA, and most people are aware of it anyway, the traffic in LA is one of the most challenging in the United States. And before I went to LA, I lived in Dallas, Fort Worth. I actually lived on the Fort Worth side, but it's a metroplex. It's all connected. You have Arlington, Grand Prairie, then, you have Fort Worth, Grand Prairie, Arlington. No, I've got it backwards. It's been so long since I've been there. Let me try this again. You have Fort Worth, which is on the west side. Then going east from Fort Worth towards Dallas, you have Arlington, where the Rangers play baseball, the amusement parks. There's a lot of entertainment in Arlington. And then it's just a continuous road. The road system there is phenomenal. But anyways, you go through, then you go to Grand Prairie as you continue to go east towards Dallas. And of course, then you have Dallas. I hear that Fort Worth is growing all the way out to West Point, Texas, which was when I lived out there. I lived on the fringe, the northwest side of Fort Worth, up by Alliance Airport. Any of you that are from Texas will know what I'm talking about. The racetrack and the Alliance Airport was up that way. It's northwest. And when you went north on 35 West, it was barren once you got up in that area. The Hunt family lived up there, and a number of other multimillionaires and billionaires. And we lived up by Eagle Mountain Lake. So that just gives you an idea. But Fort Worth evidently has grown west, all the way to West Point, Texas, which when I lived there, like I said, I was on the far western side, northwestern side of Fort Worth, up around the Hearst area. Man, to imagine that Fort Worth is growing all the way out to West Point, that is amazing, guys. That was 20 miles, 25 miles west of Fort Worth. That's hard to believe. Fort Worth's growing and it's the only place it can grow. It can either grow, it's going to grow north, west, and south. That was the only places it could grow. I mean, that's three places that could grow, but going south was a challenge. North, and when I used to go to Dallas all the time to do business, Dallas had grown all the way up close to Denton, Texas, which was amazing. And I hear now it's pretty much made it all the way up to Denton. Once again, mind-boggling, just mind-boggling. I enjoyed my time at Fort Worth and went from Fort Worth to LA. So the point is that when I was in Dallas, Fort Worth, it was easier to get around than LA. And I started my networking business in Dallas, Fort Worth, and then went to LA from there. So when I got to LA, man, you talking about challenge traffic-wise. But my sponsor, a guy we called Nico, he had this little 240 or 260Z, the old ones, and a great car. And I had a 300ZX, which was at that time a newer one. I had a 1990, and I moved out to LA in 92, and he had the older model, which are great cars. Anyway, man, we found out as I was riding with him, he would drive, and as I would ride with him, and we go all over LA. We'd get off work from the military, and we had appointments to get out and meet people and do presentations in people's homes. That's how we built it back then. So anyway, as we were driving, I was in the passenger seat, as you can imagine. Well, you can't go through the back streets of LA to get to your destination. You're pretty much locked into going on the highway. Well, you know how the highway is, and imagine us getting off at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and you know that's the height of travel. I mean, everybody's getting off work and heading home. You've seen the pictures, you've seen the videos, you know how crowded that road can be, right? So anyway, here we have a situation where we're driving through the traffic, and I noticed, because the lanes are 6, 7, and 8 lanes wide on each side. So you have a total of anywhere from 13. Let's see. Well, you'll have up to 18 lanes sometimes based on where you are in LA total, going each direction. So you might have 9 lanes on one side, 9 lanes on the other side, for a total of 18 lanes. And man, driving in LA traffic, if you've never been there, and I know the East Coast is just as bad. It's not like LA has a hold on bad traffic, but the thing is that in LA, you're moving. If you come on a ramp, you better be doing 60, 65, 70 miles an hour to get on the highway, because people are flying if they can. Now, yes, you do get in those traffic jams where you're just crawling. There's no doubt about it. But when it's flowing, it's flowing. And so anyway, we're driving, and I'm in the passenger side, and we were getting frustrated because we were getting further and further behind on meeting these people at the appointed time at these meetings. So I looked and I noticed that as we were going across, and we have 9 lanes of traffic, there would be pockets that would open up, whether it was over 2-3 lanes, and then you get over there and you would hit that gap and you keep right on going, and you wouldn't even slow down. And then all of a sudden another section would open up as one section would slow down, and I said, Nico, go over here. And then Nico, go over, and he caught on real quick, right? And so we learned how to navigate the traffic of LA to get to our presentations. Because back then when we were that way, you did home presentations. And I'll tell you a cool story about that here in a minute. So we learned to navigate. And we had to be at people's homes at 6:30 and 7. People rarely booked appointments at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Okay, every once in a while it happened that way, but not very often. So as soon as we got off of work, we took our civilian clothes to work, did our military job. We changed clothes, man, got in our civilian clothes, and off we go. And so we head down the road. And like I said, we learned to navigate that traffic, to get through that traffic, and we would hit those open pockets, and we'd be doing 65, 70, 75 miles an hour. And when we get to the presentation, people say, how in the world did you get here all the way from Riverside to here? And, sometimes we have a hard time explaining to them. They were just their minds were blown because we were able to get to their location by the appointed time. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a story that we had. Thank God we didn't run into any wrecks which blocked traffic. So navigating the traffic was fun. It was an experience that I'll never forget, but it was also kind of nerve-wracking, So the other part of this story is that, believe it or not, guys, we spent a lot of time in Hollywood Hills. Yes. And we went to some movie stars' homes. I can tell you that without any hesitation. I can tell you we went to one, which I will not put their names out there, but it's these people were on shows that you guys watched. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. And yes, they were part of the Amway organization. Sometimes it was their girlfriends or wives. But I was shocked when we got up in Hollywood Hills, not because we were in Hollywood Hills, but because of the fact the homes, the money that they paid for these homes. And some of these homes were, they paid well over $1 million for these homes. And the roads were built back in the 1930s for the old Model A's and stuff. And so the roads were not at all conducive to traffic going both ways. If you ran into somebody, you better hope and pray that there was an open spot next to the sidewalk that you could pull over so they could go by, or vice versa. It was kind of nerve-wracking to drive through all LA traffic to get to Hollywood Hills and then have to fight that. And then, you had other people there, so you had to find parking too. It was just crazy, the things we went through to build this business. And but that was the fun part of it, but we didn't treat them as movie stars. We didn't treat them, their spouses. They were very down to earth. They really were. It was very interesting to see that side of Hollywood. And we've spent a lot there. And the Hollywood Hills are, in fact, the hills. They are. And you can get lost up in there. It's a maze. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know where you're going, this is before GPS. We had to learn the hard way, as you can imagine, how to navigate those hills. And the funny thing is that the part that we went to, I had always heard about Crenshaw in LA, the community of Crenshaw. Not a place you want to get stuck. Okay, Crenshaw, if you do some research, you'll find out that Crenshaw is, wow, like I said, not a place you want to be broke down. All right. So one episode, this particular individual, it was a female. She was one of the big shots in makeup or fashion. I can't remember which one. And she was in Nico's downline somehow. I forget how it worked out. I wish I could remember. But anyway, we had to go there. And one of Nico's sponsor, was it his sponsor? Yeah, I think it was a sponsor, was doing the presentation in her home. And this was a really nice home. It was overlooking, she was built up on the hill. The backside of her house was all glass, and it looked out over the valley. And it was a beautiful view, as you can imagine, especially at nighttime. And that was a pretty good sized house. That house was all right, and the roads were okay. So it was basically built in the 60s. I'm pretty sure it was. And very nice home. What you call mid-century modern now design and architecture. It was once again a very nice home. But she was big in the fashion side of Hollywood. In other words, she helped dress the stars. I can't remember if she did the makeup, and it wasn't just for the movies or stuff, but I mean, if they were going to do a personal appearance, and also I think she had the clothing, if I'm not mistaken. They pretty much dressed these people. And so anyway, that's what she did. And she loved the Amway business, and we did presentations up there, and it'd be packed. We'd have people of all walks of life there. And so anyway, to finish the story, we're driving. And the first time we went to her place, we did not realize that we had to go through Crenshaw. And like I said, if anybody's ever been to Crenshaw, and if any of you guys from LA are listening to this, or San Francisco, I see you guys in San Francisco as well. Some of you people have been to LA, and you know what I'm talking about. You go to get to a certain part of Hollywood Hills, you have to go through Crenshaw. And Crenshaw is literally where we were at the foothill of where we had to go up through Hollywood Hills. In other words, the way to get to this lady's house was to go through this particular road, which cut through Crenshaw. And Crenshaw, the place that we stopped to get something to eat, because Nico said, "Man, I'm starving. We got to get something to eat because we're going to be here 2-3 hours." And he was right. And so I said, "Okay." And he said, "I'm going to stop at the first fast food place we see, if that's okay." And I was like, "Okay." Once again, we didn't know where we were. So we pull into a KFC, all right, not thinking anything. And we're all dressed up. You know, when we were the Amway business, man, you were dressed to the nines. And so here we are in business attire, and we're pulling up in this really pristine and remodeled 260Z, I think it was. And that drew attention on its own, as you can imagine. And here's two guys getting out dressed to the nines. And when we pulled up, the drive-through had a lot of traffic, and there was hardly, I think, only 1 or 2 people that were in the lobby. And we didn't think anything of it. So we park and we get out. And I will say this, okay, without any racial overtones here, we were the only white guys there, okay? And so we were obviously in the minority. And this is right at the foothills of Hollywood Hills. And so we go inside. We didn't care that we were the minority. You know, we're in the military. We didn't think anything about that. We worked with people from all across the world on a regular basis. Their language, their skin color, their ethnicity, none of that meant anything to us. And so we didn't think anything of it. And Nico says, "Well, what do you want? I'll go up and get it." I said, "All right, I'll go in and sit in the lobby." I went in and sat down. I was the only person sitting in the lobby, the only one. And of course, it caught my attention. I'm looking around like, why am I the only one sitting here? And I look up, and Nico's standing in line. And I look up, and they have bulletproof glass covering the area that you order. The employees were on the back side of that glass, and they had these turnstiles that you put your money in, and they would turn that turnstile, get your money, and give you change and turn it back out and give you your receipt and your change after they took your order. That glass, guys, I'm telling you, must have been 5 inches thick, maybe 6 inches thick. And my heart sank. I was like, oh shit, what's going on here? I've never seen anything like that. And these people kept turning around and looking at me, and the people driving through the drive-through were looking at me. And I'm like, okay, I see the bulletproof glass. I get that. Evidently, they get held up a lot here. So I was sitting there, and the people in the lobby that were at the, where they actually came in, they didn't want to wait through the drive-through. They literally went inside, but they stood up at the counter to place their order. They kept turning around and looking at me like I was a fool. I thought, well, it's because I'm white, As we were getting ready to leave, one of the gentlemen there came up and said, I can tell you guys are not from here. Just a little bit of advice. If you come here in the future, do not sit in the lobby. And we're like, why? He said, because we have drive-by shootings here all the time. And if they see white people, they're going to shoot you. We were like, whoa, dude, thanks for the heads up. He said, yeah, I just don't want to see you guys get hurt. He said, matter of fact, I'd suggest you don't stop here in the future. He said, do y'all come up here? I said, yes. He said, where are you going? We're going to Hollywood Hills. He said, and then future, just go right to it. Don't stop. So that was one of our journeys in building in our Amway business. Now, how crazy is that? That is flipping crazy, dude. I'm telling you, we got some stories about building a business, and I share those stories with you so you can find some humor. You can realize that we have some fun. And then there were some challenges, as you can tell. And man, I'll tell you what, you look back and you shake your head saying, man, how crazy was that, But I didn't put two and two together. We didn't realize we were in danger. Thank God that gentleman came up and told us, hey, in the future, don't come this way. That's not a good idea. And so in the future, we found a way to obviously go up to Hollywood Hills. All right. So with that being said, let's get to, here's our story. I always want to share some of my networking stories with you guys. So I'm sure you can relate, and I'm sure it makes you laugh or snicker or something. It's a good, lighthearted story, and I can laugh about it. And I laughed back then too. So with that being said, as you know, we are Freelance Friday, episode 7. Can you believe it? This is the 7th episode. Wow, that's hard to believe. And these have been wildly popular. I don't know why, but everybody loves the Freelance Friday episodes. They get the most views. They get the most podcasts listened to, or whatever you call it, or activity. So I don't know what it is, but I'm glad you guys enjoy them. I like doing them, and I'm glad you guys enjoy them. Okay, for all of you on the podcast, on the ticker, we have the first and foremost is the good of network marketing. As you know, every week we talk about the good, right? Well, the good here is this: the friendships and the people that you meet. I'm going to tell you without any hesitation, without any doubt, I have friends to this day that I met in network marketing. And I will tell you that the people that I met in network marketing were so awesome. It doesn't mean, guys, that only the elite are in network marketing. It's network marketing is for everybody. There's everyday people there. The thing is that when, you're almost everybody has an entrepreneur mindset. Okay. They're business people. You have common goals. So when you talk to somebody at these meetings, guess what? You have something common with them right away. And there's this connection, and they'll say, well, where are you from? Why did you come to network marketing? What company are you with? And if you're with the same company, it boils down, then you get to talk about the family and what kind of job you've had and how long you've been in network marketing, what kind of challenges. It's just a great environment to be in. And I will tell you that once again, I've met some wonderful people that I'm still great friends with to this day. And they're lifelong and wonderful people. I've laughed till I cried with some of these people. Some of these, like Nico, it was so funny, man. That guy he missed his call, and he should have been a stand-up comedian. He was one of those people that humor just came naturally, and he had a quick tongue and a quick mind to go with it. He was in special forces, and he worked for me. And man, I'll tell you, it was a blast being around that guy. He could speak like 5 different languages fluently, and never bragged about it. I didn't even know it until we were sitting one day in the hospital on base, and we were processing out. We were actually getting out of the military, both of us. And so he we're sitting there and he's staring at this woman sitting across from us. And he looks at her and she didn't say a word. And I don't know what he was staring at her for. And I was thinking to myself, I was sitting a couple seats away from him and on the same seat aisle, if you will. And she was sitting directly across from us, and she was in her 30s. And she really wouldn't look up at us. And I was thinking, Nico, man, you're making this woman nervous. What are you staring at her for? I almost reached over and tapped him and said, dude, quit staring. But he just sat there, really intelligent guy, and he kept staring at her. And all of a sudden he starts speaking to her. And I'm like, what in the hell is he saying to her? And she looks up, her eyes are wide, and she goes, you speak German? He goes, he's speaking to her in fluent German. And he's from Cambodia. And in Cambodia is on the border of, was born and raised on the border of Thailand and Cambodia. So he spoke Thai, he spoke Cambodian, and he spoke German, he spoke English, and I forget the fifth language. That he spoke. And so he starts talking to her fluent German. He never told me he could speak German. He never bragged about anything. He was just really down to earth, but funny as crap, man. Make you want to pee in your pants. He would make you laugh so hard. So I met him and a lot of other wonderful people in network marketing that I can tell you that the real friends that I have, and this is no joke, the real friends, everybody has basically 3 to 5 friends that are with you through thick and thin, that you've known forever. You could pick up the phone and pick up a conversation that you had last year, like you guys never missed a beat. It's like you talked every day for the past year, and yet you only talked once or twice over that course of that year. And that's the kind of people that I've met here. And I can pick up the phone and we can just pick up and go off, and then we won't talk again for those 6 months or whatever. But the friendships and the people that you meet here, and a lot of those have led to other projects and other business journeys. Okay. Because you're talking to people that are what? Entrepreneurs, people that have business minds that are what? Always looking for a way to better their life situation, correct? Make more money. And everything doesn't revolve around network marketing business model. As you know, I branched out into investing in real estate. Those are 2 of my passions. And I love that. My whole purpose for the network marketing business model was to make big money as quickly as I could so I could invest it for my future and have the lifestyle I wanted. So it was a vehicle for me. And a lot of the people were the same way. So you had, once again, like-minded people. And that is one of the best things about network marketing is the people that you're going to meet. But, there's obviously people, I've told you about the scoundrels that are all about the money and will say or do anything to get your money. And under the guise of being a network marketer who cares about you and wants to help you. And we've talked about how you can identify those people. So yes, there are definitely people on the other side, but I will say for the most part, you're going to run into a lot of great people, and you're going to be better off for it. So that is definitely one of the good things about network marketing. And if you haven't found that out yet, I'm sure you will as your journey starts out or as you continue to move down that path of success. The bad, for you guys on the podcast, and now on the ticker is the bad. And the bad about the business, like anything in life, but it certainly applies here. And it seems more personal. Why? Because you're putting your feelings out there as a person. You're putting yourself out there. And so a lot of times when there's disappointments, that personally affects you. And you've got to learn to have the thick skin and just let it roll off. You can't let the things that happen, the things that don't work out the way you want them to affect you emotionally. It's just part of life. It's part of the business. We're going to be disappointed in life. And, that's just the way it happens. There's very few people that go through life that are not disappointed or hurt in some way. And you know what? It's like, okay, well, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. I'm still breathing. I'm still healthy. I can change this situation and I can get over this. So it's not a big deal. Yeah, it sucks. Just like when I got a divorce. I never wanted to be divorced. I was crushed. I never knew a human being get hurt so bad and not be sick from some disease. I was just absolutely crushed when I went through my divorce. It took me a long time to get over that divorce, about 2 years. because I truly loved my wife. And I loved the life that we had. But you know what? Life goes on. And when I told myself, well, you know what? There's plenty of other women out there that want to spend time with me. There's a lot of wonderful things that I wanted to experience in life that I didn't have a chance to do because my focus was totally my family. I sacrificed my own desires, my own needs. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I loved it. I loved being a husband and a dad. So I never looked at it as a sacrifice. I did it for the betterment of the family, and I was glad to do it. So I don't want you guys to get that impression, all right? Truly love being a dad and a husband. Still do. So anyway, you know what? The bad in this situation is being let down. Okay. And guess what? In network marketing, it can really affect you if you let it, because you're putting your heart out there, you're putting your soul out there, you're putting your effort into your business, and you're exposing yourself to other human beings. And there are human beings out there that don't have the same sensitivity that you have and don't care about hurting your feelings. And guess what? They're going to say and do some things, which I've gone through, believe me. And there's a lot of times, yeah, did it hurt? Well, absolutely it did. You know, and I would think, why would someone want to be that mean? I mean, I've had people say mean things to me. Not very few. I mean, not very many. It was actually very few. But in fact, it did happen. And the thing is that, you know what? I consider myself a pretty tough guy. But you know what? I'm a human being, first and foremost. I have feelings. I have emotions. And there are times when people say things that, to be honest with you, piss me off or hurt my feelings or make me question why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. But you know what? The scale of life, we talk about it, scale from 0 to 10. What is your quit number? And I always just say to myself, I am not quitting. I do not have a quit number. I am going to go through and fight through this. Yes, I might be upset. I might be pissed off a little bit. That may have hurt my feelings, but I'm going to get past it. And you know what? Instead of burying it, I would write on a piece of paper. I would crumble the piece of paper up. I'd burn it, and then I'd flush the ashes down the toilet. Okay? It's just symbolic, and it works, and it helped me. And that's what I did. So the thing is that don't let the fact that you're being let down. One of the biggest letdowns in network marketing is, you know, hey, you know what? I'm getting ready to sign up a superstar, man. These guys, they've been great, and we've had great conversations over the last week. They've told me they're ready to go, and man, they have a long history of success in network marketing. How many times do you think I've run into those type of people? And how many of those people actually signed up? Very few. Okay, some did, absolutely, but very few. And you know what else? Here's the thing. When they did sign up, very few of them did anything. That's just crazy, right? So the thing is that you have to be prepared to be let down. And the people that you think are going to do something, more times than not, they don't. Your true superstars end up being people that you really not sure about, or somebody that you just kind of, they're not going to do anything. And you'll be just as surprised. So you can't let this business get you down because you've got the good coming up behind you. The bad just glosses over the good that's getting ready to sprout out of the ground and surprise you. So you don't want to let the bad get you down, guys. It's not something to get upset about. It's not something for you to worry about. You can't let it derail you on your dreams and your goals. You got to stay the course, and you got to say, okay, that really sucked. And, sometimes you got to cry in your beer, right? And there again, being human, you got to deal with the emotions. I certainly did. I didn't try and bury my emotions. I didn't try and bury my anger, but I didn't take it out on them. All right. I rarely got that upset. But there were a couple of times where, to be honest with you, where somebody really upset me. And you know what? I've learned that I got to release that stuff. I can't hold it in. And so I would find my release. I usually found my release through sports. I hated running, still do, but I did it. And mainly because I was in the military, but I love sports. And I would get out and run. I'd get out and shoot basketball. I'd get out and lift weights, whatever the case may be, to get my mind off of things. And it did wonders for me. So everybody's got their release, okay? And there's times I sit underneath the tree. I love parks. I love serenity. I love being by myself. I enjoy myself, and I'm the type of person that I could be by myself, and it wouldn't bother me a bit. I don't need friends, and I don't need people around to make me happy. And I don't want to come across as being crass or individualistic. But the bottom line is that I've always enjoyed who I am as a person. And I love reading, and I love music, and I'll play the guitar or I'll listen to music. I have really nice audio equipment, and I love listening to music as much as playing. And so I have so many activities to keep me happy. And when I was younger, I used to think my diversity was such a curse because I was so jealous of people that could focus in on one thing and be happy or be successful. I had such a wide range of interests. It was hard for me to find one that I really had a passion for that I had to focus in on outside of sports. Like I said, I was really good on in football and basketball and softball. There weren't many sports that I was not good at, except for baseball. If it was a ball, soccer. I didn't care for soccer. It wasn't that I wasn't good at it. I just didn't like it. Still don't. And it's nothing against soccer. There's things like, you go out and try different things, and that's what makes the world go round. When you were growing up as a child and your parents allowed you to try playing different musical instruments, you're going to say, hey, I don't like this one. This one sucks. I want to play this one. Well, that's your personal preference. And you found out that you liked that one because you didn't like the other ones. It's just the way it goes. And I didn't like soccer, and I didn't like baseball, so I didn't excel at them. So I always found an outlet, and I was always talented in that area. Not that that's important, but there again, the reason it's important is if you have somebody let you down, what do you want to do? Gravitate to the things you enjoy, whether it's music, writing, being alone. And then that was my whole point, is I'd go out and sit at the park at the base of a tree and read or write or something. So I always found a way to have an outlet and not let things get to me. There again, it's the reason why I have the hair on my head the way I do. And it's not totally gray, although it's getting there, which sucks. And I'm not afraid of getting old, but I don't like getting old. I enjoy life. So I hope I have many more years, God willing. Healthy years. Let me make that clear. All right. So that's the bad of the industry, is being let down. You're just going to have to prepare yourself. Hey, this is just the way it is. This is part of the process. It's what I got to do. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Think about it this way as we close this point. If you allow someone in any subject, let's just make it clear, but it does apply here. I don't allow other people's opinions to influence my life. God gave me a brain, okay? Believe me, I'll get down on my knees and pray and ask for direction and ask for guidance and help, whatever the case may be. And the thing is that, and I'll talk to the wife and I'll ask friends, that I trust. But here's the thing, guys. I'm not going to live my life through somebody else's opinions or comments, okay? Their words have absolutely no power over me unless they tell somebody, go kill Rob, or hey, go brainwash Rob. I mean, it would have to be a forced thing onto my life. I respect people's opinions. I may seek an opinion, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to accept that opinion. It does not mean it's going to influence my life. It does not mean it's going to transform my life. I'm the one that has to make the decision and then apply the action behind that decision. So the point is that I don't want you guys to think when somebody lets you down that you should allow that to affect your future. Okay, that's just their opinion. If they're being mean or nasty, go away, leave me alone. You suck. You're taking advantage of people. You're a part of a pyramid. I mean, all that other crap. And you know what? Or somebody that just didn't turn out the way you thought they were going to turn out, and you're down and out because you thought they were going to be your superstar and help you get over the top. You know what? You just got to say, okay, you know what? That's life. That sucks. I really don't like that, but if I'm going to sit and sulk, I'm going to miss out on the next superstar. I need to pick myself up and get out there and find that next superstar who will get me over the top. That's the proper response. You're living your life, your goals, your dreams, not your life through somebody else's opinion. Because if you let it affect you and let it get you down, you may go crawl in the corner and suck your thumb and do nothing. And then your business won't get over the top, and then you won't live the life you want. You won't have the income you want because you allowed somebody's opinion or comment to stop you dead in your tracks. Folks, don't live your life through somebody else's opinions. Nothing wrong with seeking those opinions, but the ultimate responsibility is for you to make your own decision, okay? And that's the power of you having a common sense approach to things and being even killed and not allowing emotions to overtake you and determine your course of action. All right. So with that being said, let's see. We have the ugly. All right, guys, on the podcast, we're now at the ugly. It's in the ticker. And that is this. The ugly side of network marketing, guys, one of the ugly sides is that this business can be all consuming. You do not want that to be the case. Guys, look, I've talked about balance before. You've got to have balance. You have to make sure that you have enough energy and focus for your family, for yourself, for your job. You got a lot on your plate. The wonderful thing, as I've said many times about this business, it allows you to leverage your time, which is the most important thing if you have a job and a family, and your abilities, your talents, okay, through other people. Okay. In other words, your business can continue to grow if you sponsor the right people, and they are go-getters, and they're going to go out there and build a business regardless of what you do. And somebody out there, multiple people out there, will have more time on their hands to build the business, and you're going to benefit. Okay. And the thing is that you're saying to yourself, I can only put 4 hours in a day into this business. I can't put any more. But there's somebody else that you sponsored or that's in your downline saying, look, I'm a single parent. I got all day. I'm going to put 6, 7, 8 hours into this thing, maybe even more. Okay. I'm going to go crazy on this thing. And so now you've got somebody out there and your business is growing and you've got this explosion happening in your downline because there is someone that's duplicating the exact same thing you're doing, that's out there causing all kinds of explosive growth in that leg, and you're benefiting from it, even though you're still only putting in 4 hours a day. Okay, so the bottom line is that that's the beauty of the business model, but the ugly side is being all-consuming, where it can overtake your every waking moment. You may even go to sleep thinking about network marketing. Guys, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. You do not want to get in that groove. If you're an extreme type A personality, that's hard for you not to do, because most extreme type A personalities, even some non-extreme type A personalities, have this all-consuming, when they focus on something, this all-consuming approach. And guys, that can cause major issues in your life, not just with your job or with your spouse or your family, but even with your job. Okay. It can cause some mental challenges. And I don't mean to make you crazy, but what I'm saying is that you'll have no room in your mind for anything else. You'll be so wrapped up in wanting to learn everything about the business and being out there building a business and dealing with every issue that comes up. You got to learn every little thing about it. Guys, that's not how you build this business, and it can destroy you. I told you that success can be an evil mistress. She doesn't care about what she destroys. She doesn't care about who she has to run over. She just consumes you. The word success, the lifestyle, the image, the glory, the fame, all of that can consume you to where you'll run over anybody that gets in your way, including your family, your boss, friends. Guys, you can't do that. You've got to take a realistic approach, a balanced approach, take a step back. This business model will work for you. The leverage will work for you. The duplication, you get the leverage through the duplication. If you follow what I've been teaching you, you will have duplication in your business, and that will allow you to maintain that proper balance. Look, the most important thing you have in this life, number one, well, I think Christ, but the bottom line is everybody has different beliefs, right? But you have a family. You say you love them, you support them, you want to be there for them. You need to do that, okay? You don't want to sacrifice them to go after this business. You don't want it to consume you to the point that you start ignoring your responsibilities as a parent and as a spouse. Additionally, you don't want, if you have a demanding job and it pays well, guys, you still got to put food on the table, still got to put a roof over everybody's heads. Okay, you have a lifestyle that you have to maintain. And you know what? They're paying you at work to do what? Your job. So you're, as a professional, you should go in and do your job and screw network marketing while you're at work. I did that podcast. Remember, build from the outside in, not the inside out. Okay, meaning do not prospect people at work. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to that episode. The point is you want to make sure that you are able to have a proper balance, maintain the life you have. You want to enjoy this journey. You don't want this journey to take over your life and to consume you. Okay, but this business, if you allow it, can be all consuming. You're so fired up at the potential of the business model. You're so fired up that you're so close to the life you want to have that you're going to get out there and you're going to do whatever it takes to get this thing over with, to build it now and get it over with, screw everything else. That is not the way to build this business. That's the ugly side of it. I've told you guys, I've touched on that before, but man, it can be ugly. I've seen it in person. I've seen it happen. It will consume you. I've seen people ruin their lives through this business model, pursuing this dream, this unrealistic dream that they're being sold. You have to, if you just do the numbers, if you just work the numbers, you'll get the results. I've told you that over and over. Don't let this business model consume you. Don't let the success that's at your fingertips consume you. Don't let the material things you can get through this business consume you. Okay? Just realize that this business model is a vehicle to help you get what you want, whether that's to have a better retirement in the future, whether it's to pay for your kids' education so you don't have to worry about it, so that you can secure other things in your life, help pay medical bills, whatever the case may be. Everybody has a different need, a different purpose. Not everybody wants to go after the big business. But the bottom line is you have to have a realistic approach. I'm telling you, building this business can be fun. I've told you some fun stories already. Okay, and you need to have fun with it. We certainly did. We laughed, we cut up, even when things weren't going well, which is going to happen. But we had a great time. I can tell you so many stories. And I'm just one of many network marketers that have stories like that. But you guys are going to have the same kind of stories. You're going to have the same kind of experiences. And you're going to sit back and smile. And you're going to remember the conversations we are having now because of this episode and other episodes. And that's good. And this is the reason why we share this information with you. That's the reason why we talk all things network marketing. That's the reason why we started the Freelance Friday, so that we can get away from the teaching moments Monday through Thursday that we have on the MLM Solution, the daily podcast show. This is more of a laid back, more, how would you say, not as intense. It's still information, but not as focused and not as intense as what we have during our Monday through Thursday podcast show. So that's the reason why we have the Fridays, relax, ease into our weekend and enjoy, but still learn something while laughing in the process. And we certainly do that. Okay, we're at a close with our show. Guys, as you know, we have the website, themlmsolution.net. Please visit there. Thank you guys that have visited there and have been. You have seen the changes. I appreciate the comments you guys make. The MLM Solution, hashtag the MLM Solution. You certainly want to do that. Look for us. And I should put this in there too, and I'll do it right now. The MLM Solution 1, the number 1. I needed to put that in there too because we have both. So the hashtag the MLM Solution and hashtag the MLM Solution 1. There's our Twitter account, I believe, that it has the number 1 after it. And if you will, give us thumbs up and follow us, share, comment. Please go to our YouTube channel. Help us out there. I'm going to be focusing on it a little bit. I know I tell you guys that, but I'm busting my butt on the website right now, and then I'll start focusing on YouTube and Twitter. Twitter is getting better, and I'm grateful for that. I don't think there's any hope for LinkedIn, but you never know. And Luke and Oliver are right next to me. And at the same time, please register for notifications on the YouTube channel. I'm going to be checking things here in the near future, just to let you know. I may be changing platforms. I mentioned that a couple times. As far as the broadcasts go, I have access to a couple different platforms, and I have one that will be a little more stable and gives me a little more flexibility. I'm going to be checking that this weekend. So there may be a new way for you to watch these podcasts, and I appreciate if you'll follow us over there. I'll certainly send out a notification of that. At the same time, there'll be other changes coming down the road. I'm learning all of these platforms as quickly as I can. I watch tutorials, I ask questions, I read. I'm learning leaps and bounds, but it's time consuming because once I read it, then I have to go and execute it. Sometimes it doesn't work the way it's supposed to based on what I'm reading and seeing. And then I have to troubleshoot it to find out what I'm doing wrong because usually it's an operator error, and to make sure that this is working the way it's supposed to. I think that we could be reaching more people in the very near future because I'll understand how the end user is getting notifications that we're going live. Make it easier for them to follow us and things like that. And plus, I'll start advertising in the very near future. I have not had time to do that yet because I'm learning. I don't want to waste money on a learning curve when I'm learning all these different platforms and how they interact with one another, and all the intricacies that go with those particular platforms. I have been learning a lot over the last couple of months, and I think I'm getting a better understanding of things, and I think that I'll be able to start advertising. Not that that's important to you, but it helps us to get the word out to our fellow network marketers. Right now, we're just appealing to the general audience, and I'm shocked by the response. Imagine what will happen when I'm able to target network marketers who don't even know we exist yet, and they're able to come and learn about us, and we have a wealth of information to share, as you know. So with that being said, guys, have a wonderful weekend. God bless you guys. Continue to do the basics to protect yourself from the virus. Do not put your guard down. I know that the president is talking about opening up some of the job markets. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great decision. People need to get back to work. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure a lot of you are really excited about getting out of the house and getting back into your normal routine. I don't blame you a bit. Kudos to you for chomping at the bit to get back to your normal routine. And I look forward to making that happen for all of you guys. But at the same time, we still got to be diligent, and we still got to do the basics in order to protect ourselves. We don't want this thing to flare up again. Please continue to do the basics. We've come this far. It's only going to take a few more months. I hope they're going to let you guys work. There's no sense in staying at home for a few more months. But I'm telling you, if we wear our protection gear, use sanitizers and all of that, maintain our distance from people as much as possible while doing our job, I think that is going to help keep this thing at bay and allow you guys to get back to a normal life as possible under the conditions. So that being said, guys, thank you for being around. I appreciate you guys for all you do. You guys do my heart good. You do my ego good. And I don't have an ego, but you do. What little ego I have. You do me good because you guys are following me and you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And I love to teach. I love helping other people. I love to see people succeed. And I love to see them smile. And I love to see them happy. So that's one of the reasons I do what I do. Once again,